Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Physics Ka Funda. So today I'm here with you to present the I think third part of this chapter, the second chapter of physics of class 9, and that is forces and laws of motion. In this part we'll discuss, see, in the previous part we have discussed already the first law, second law and their applications we have already discussed, but in this case, in this class we will discuss about the third law of motion. Okay, we know that there are three laws of motion we have. The first law and the second law was already discussed, and today we will discuss the third law. So let's start today's video. Before that, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe, like my video and do share my video. Okay, so let's start today's video. Today, first of all, we will learn what is the third law of motion. Okay, third law of motion. First law says that, we already discussed that. First law says that if you have an object and that object is at rest or in motion, then that object will be continuously at rest or in motion until and unless you apply any force on that object. Okay, that is the first law. Second law, what it states? It states that the rate of change of momentum, of an object is always proportional to what? To the applied force on the object. Okay, if you apply a force, then its momentum will change, and that change, the rate of that change of momentum is always what? Always proportional to the applied force. Okay, so that was the two laws. Those two laws we already discussed. So this is the third law, last one. Okay, so third law of motion. So what it states actually, it states, I'm writing the statement. It states that, you see, every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. Okay, this is the statement of third law of motion. Now let me explain what it is. Suppose you are on the boat. Okay, boat, you know that boat. You can get the diagram of this third law of motion. Many diagrams are given in the book, so you can see. So you see, if you have a boat and you're standing on the boat, and now suddenly what happened? You have come forward. Okay, you are coming out of the boat, comes forward. You are coming forward. So when you are coming forward, you see, you have come forward. You can see the diagram. Your boat is there, water is there. So from here, you are standing here, and from here you have moved this direction. You have moved this direction. So that means you are coming forward. This is forward direction. So as you are moving this direction, see, when you are forward, you are coming forward, you are giving some force by your leg to this side, due to which what will happen? Due to which this boat will tend to move towards the backward direction. That means, listen, that means you have come forward. That means as you have come forward, definitely you have some force in the forward direction. Otherwise, force agar tum nahi doge, to tum kaise move karoge in the forward direction? No, it is not possible. That means without force, nothing, nothing can move. Okay, so you are moving forward. That means in the forward direction some force is there. That force is called action force. Action force, due to which something happened. What happened? You have come forward. So due to that force, something happened. That is, you have come forward, and that is what? You have done something. You have acted something. So this force is called action force. And due to this action force, what is happening actually? You are coming forward. Okay, from the boat. Okay, you are coming out of the boat, coming forward from the boat, and you see this action force has made you coming out of the boat, but this is not alone. You see, this action force is not alone. Along with this, there is another force which you see, which tend the boat to move in the backward direction. अगर बोट backward direction पे move किया, इसका मतलब क्या है? Backward direction पे भी कुछ force है, and that force is called reaction force. That is called reaction force. So action force अकेले नहीं रहता है. Okay, action force is not been alone. Okay, so along with action force there is another force which is called reaction force. Understood? So you see what it tells, what the third law tells. Third law tells that if you have an action force, okay, it is not alone. Okay, it says that every action force, this one, every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. That means action force and reaction force का value क्या है? Equal है. Understood? Action force and reaction force are having equal magnitude. Magnitude means value. Like this, suppose this is your action force, suppose FA. Okay, this is the action force FA. Similarly, reaction force is there, suppose it is FR. R for reaction. FA, A for action, R for reaction. For example, I am just writing. So what does third law says? Okay, third law का mathematical form भी होता है. How we can write the third law of equation? Understood? How we can write the third law of equation? That is very important. You see, this is action force, और action force के opposite में होता है reaction force. Already it is said that every action force has an equal and opposite. Opposite means in the reverse direction, in the opposite direction of action force. So action force के opposite direction पे और एक force होता है, उसका नाम क्या होता है? Reaction force. और उसका value क्या होता है? इसका value होता है same with the action force. Okay, every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. Equal होता है FA का value क्या होता है? FR से equal होता है. This is what third law of motion. But it says that equal and opposite. Opposite को हम कैसे लिखेंगे in an equation? That is very important. हम एक equation पे कैसे opposite लिखते हैं? That is very important. F क्या quantity है? Scalar or vector? Force is always a vector quantity. Why? Because force has direction. I explained already in the previous video. Force has direction. Also it has magnitude. That's why force is a what? Vector quantity. अगर force vector quantity है तो हम कैसे represent करेंगे इसको? Third law of equation को. F A क्या है? Action force. Every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. Opposite को हम कैसे लिखेंगे? एक minus sign दे देंगे. What does this negative sign indicate? You listen very carefully. Negative sign का दो application होता है. We can use this negative sign in two applications, in two ways. एक तो होता है value represent करने के लिए. If I write -5, that means this is the value it is giving -5. Understood what I am telling? -5 means what? This is what? This is representing what? Negative value. Understood? And it is also used where? To represent the direction. Very important. Negative sign also represent the direction. Negative sign is also used to represent what? The direction. Here you see FA. FA means action force is always equal. You have written equal and opposite reaction force. Negative हम तभी देंगे जब दो force क्या होगा? दो वेक्टर क्या होगा? Opposite direction पे होगा. तो इसमें क्या होता है? ये negative sign क्या indicate कर रहा है? This negative sign indicates that FA and FR, the direction of FA and FR, they are opposite. So that negative sign indicates that FA and FR are in the opposite direction. Is not it in the opposite direction? Yes. So if it is in the opposite direction, we represent that direction by a negative sign. Negative sign का मतलब यही होता है. यहाँ value नहीं है इसका. Negative sign का मतलब value नहीं है. Here like this is what? -5. Here the value was representing, but here it is not. It is representing what? It is representing the direction. Understood? So negative sign is used in two ways, in two cases. Where we have to write negative values, there also we write negative sign, and where we need to give direction, opposite direction, there also we need to use negative sign. इसका मतलब यहाँ थर्ड लॉ में क्या हो जाएगा, एफ ए और एफ आर का जो डायरेक्शन है ना ये ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा, ये नेगेटिव साइन यही इंडिकेट करेगा, और इक्वल साइन क्या इंडिकेट करेगा, एफ ए और एफ आर का वैल्यू सेम है, अंडरस्टूड, वैल्यू क्या है, मैग्नीट्यूड क्या है, सेम है, और इसका डायरेक्शन क्या है, ऑपोजिट है, अंडरस्टूड. दिस वे वी रिप्रेजेंट द थर्ड लॉ ऑफ motion. Okay, so this is all about third law of motion. So I think for the second law of motion some numericals are there. We have not done those numericals, so I will do 2 of them, okay, 2-3 of them, and then we'll proceed. Okay, first of all let me do some numericals here. Okay, this is third law of motion, and third law of motion में से एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है. Okay, because means questions आते हैं लेकिन न्यूमेरिकल्स नहीं आते, अंडरस्टूड. सो बट वी हैव टू यूज दिस थर्ड लॉ ऑफ व्हाट टू से थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन. वी हैव टू अप्लाई दिस थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन, ओके, इन आवर एवरीडे लाइफ. इफ यू गो एनीवेयर, यू सी engineering, medical line, wherever you go, these laws of motion and equations of motion, these will never leave you. If you wish to leave them, it's okay, but they will never leave you. Okay, so you see, this is third law of motion. Now we proceed towards the numericals of second law of motion. Okay, what was the second law of motion? Second law of motion क्या बोलते हैं? What it is? Force is proportional to what? Is proportional to rate of change of momentum, mv minus mu, divided by, or mv minus u by t. This was, I think this was what? This was the second law of motion. Okay, फोर्स क्या होता है, किसके प्रोपोर्शनल होता है, रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम का प्रोपोर्शनल होता है. तो ये इक्वेशन अप्लाई करके हमें क्या करना है, थोड़ा सा न्यूमेरिकल्स करना है. ओके, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. डन. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द न्यूमेरिकल्स. So this is from the example, 9.1. It is given in the question, in the book it is given, it is been solved there. Okay, but I will try to solve you. I'll try to understand, make you understand, okay, what it is. So you see, the question is a constant force. Constant force means what? That force which is constant, which is not changing. A constant force acts on an object of mass 5 kg for a duration of 2 seconds. It increases the object's velocity from 3 meter per second to 7 meter per second. Find the magnitude of the applied force. हमने एक कांस्टेंट फोर्स अप्लाई किया एक ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर. उस ऑब्जेक्ट का मास कितना है, 5 किलोग्राम है, 5 kg है, और वो फोर्स अप्लाई करने से क्या हुआ, उसका वेलोसिटी कहाँ से कहा गया, 3 मीटर पर सेकेंड था पहले, अभी क्या हो गया, 7 मीटर पर सेकेंड हो गया. तो वो कितना फोर्स हमने अप्लाई किया वो हमें निकालना है, और हमने ये फोर्स कितना समय के लिए दिया, 2 सेकेंड के, 2 सेकेंड के लिए. ओके, नाउ इफ द फोर्स वाज अप्लाइड फॉर अ ड्यूरेशन ऑफ 5 सेकेंड. अभी बोला है कि अगर ये फोर्स 2 सेकेंड नहीं 5 सेकेंड के लिए, 5 सेकेंड के लिए अगर अप्लाई करेंगे तो व्हाट वुड बी द फाइनल वेलोसिटी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट, व्हाट वुड बी द फाइनल वेलोसिटी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट. सो लेट मी डू दिस न्यूमेरिकल. ओके, so what is given, first of all we have to write this given. What is given in the question? It is given that mass is equal to 5 kg. Done. Kg is the SI unit, so no need to convert. Mass is given 5 kg. Okay, next time given 2 second. पहला ये दो, यहाँ पे 2 क्वेश्चन है. ओके, पहले वाला में क्या है, टाइम कितना है, 2 सेकेंड है, 2 सेकेंड. सो वी हैव टू यूज 2 सेकेंड हियर. एंड देन सॉरी, it increases the object's velocity from 3 meter per second to 7 meter per second. इसका मतलब इनिशियल वेलोसिटी 3 मीटर पर सेकेंड है और फाइनल वेलोसिटी कितना है, 7 मीटर पर सेकेंड है. डन. 3 मीटर पर सेकेंड टू, ओके, फाइनल वेलोसिटी कितना है, 7 मीटर पर सेकेंड. ओके, सो हमें निकालना है फोर्स कितना होगा, व्हाट विल बी द फोर्स हियर. ओके, वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट द फोर्स. सो हमने सेकेंड लॉ में क्या पाया, वी नो दैट, नाउ वी नो दैट, व्हाट वी नो, नथिंग ना, we know that, what we know, F is equal to, what it is, F is equal to m v minus u by t. This is the formula. F is equal to V minus U by T. So from there we need to find out F. Mass का value कितना है? This is second law of motion. We have already explained this in the previous video. F is equal to m. Actually F is proportional to this, but we have to give one constant when we write is equal. So we gave K, and in that K we choose the constant value to be 1. And if we write this 1, so it will be F equal to m V minus U divided by T. What is m? 5 kg given. V कितना है? 7 minus U कितना है? 3 divided by time कितना लिया? 2 सेकेंड. So this is very easy, I think. 7 minus 3 will be 4. 4 5 is how much? 4 5 is 20. 20 divided by 2, it's 10. What? Newton. Force का ऐसा यूनिट क्या होता है? न्यूटन होता है. तो 10 न्यूटन will be the force. Okay? 10 न्यूटन will be the constant force. ये चेंज नहीं होगा क्योंकि ये बोला है ये फोर्स क्या है? कांस्टेंट है. कांस्टेंट मींस जो जिसका वैल्यू क्या नहीं होता है? चेंज नहीं होता है. तो ये कांस्टेंट वैल्यू फोर्स का वैल्यू कितना होगा? 10 न्यूटन होगा. अभी दूसरा वाला क्वेश्चन क्या है? क्वेश्चन क्या दिया है? दूसरा वाला में क्या बोला है? दैट ये फोर्स अगर 2 सेकेंड नहीं 5 सेकेंड के लिए अगर अप्लाई करूं तो उसका फाइनल वेलोसिटी कितना होगा? ओके, इफ आई अप्लाई दिस for 5 seconds of time, then what will be the final velocity? So let's do it. Let's do this. So here in this case, time will be how much? 5 seconds. Okay, time will be 5 seconds. Now again we use this formula F is equal to m V minus U by T. हमें चाहिए क्या? क्या चाहिए हमें? F is equal to, we need V ना? We need V. So what we have to do? Can I write this cross multiplying? Can I write Ft is equal to m V minus U? So V minus U का वैल्यू कितना होगा? V minus U will be, if m comes this side, Ft divided by m. Sorry, Ft divided by m. वहां से V कितना होगा? U plus Ft divided by m. U उस तरफ चला गया तो प्लस हो गया. So U का वैल्यू कितना था? 3 प्लस F का वैल्यू 10 हमने अभी निकाला. F का वैल्यू 10 है इनटू T का वैल्यू कितना है? व्हाट इट इज? T का वैल्यू 5 दिया हुआ है. 5 सेकेंड डिवाइडेड बाय मास कितना है? 5 kg. दिस 5 कैन आई कैंसिल इट? या. सो 10 प्लस 3 विल बी 13 मीटर पर सेकेंड. अगर हमने वो 2 सेकेंड नहीं, इफ वो टाइम वी यूज 5 सेकेंड, देन उसका वेलोसिटी कितना होता? फाइनल वेलोसिटी 13 मीटर पर सेकेंड होता. अंडरस्टूड? सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द सेकेंड, आई मीन एप्लीकेशन ऑफ सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन. तो हमने वो सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन का जो फॉर्मूला है उसको अप्लाई करके हमने न्यूमेरिकल्स किया. और एक करते हैं. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, अ फोर्स ऑफ 5 न्यूटन गिव्स अ मास m1, an acceleration of 10 meter per second square, and a mass m2 and acceleration of 20 meter per second square. Okay, एक फोर्स है हमारे पास. वो फोर्स का वैल्यू कितना है? 5 न्यूटन दिया हुआ है. और वो फोर्स क्या किया? दो मास m1, मास का वैल्यू नहीं दिया हुआ है, m1 और m2 को. m1 को कितना एक्सेलरेशन देता है? 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. और m2 को कितना देता है? 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. द क्वेश्चन इज what acceleration would it give if both the masses were tied together? That means हमें क्या करना है? दो मास को एक साथ लाना है ऑल टुगेदर. सो वो दोनों को अगर टाइट कर देंगे एक साथ, तो उस जो न्यू मास होगा ना, दो मास अगर लाइक सपोज one mass is of 1 kilogram, another is of 2 kilogram. If we join, we will get 3 kilogram of mass. So अगर हम ये दो मास m1 और m2 को ज्वाइन कर देंगे तो न्यू मास होगा. उस न्यू मास को ये 5 न्यूटन फोर्स कितना एक्सेलरेशन देगा? ये क्वेश्चन है. सो यू सी what you have to do first here, you have to tie together these two masses. Before that you need to know what is the mass m1 and m2, what are the masses. Okay, you need to calculate the masses first. Okay, m1 और m2 का वैल्यू हमें निकालना है. और हम कैसे निकालेंगे? सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ न्यूटन यूज करके हम वो मास निकालेंगे. गिवन व्हाट? लिसन, गिवन व्हाट इज गिवन? गिवन, you see, m1 not given, a1 given, acceleration of the first mass a1, what it is given? It is given 10 meter per second square. A2 given 20 meter per second square. These two things are given. What else? Force given 5 Newton. Force is given 5 Newton. What you have to do now, you need to find out M1 and M2. तो हमें क्या करना है? We know that see, F is equal to actually MA. F is equal to MA. We got the final second law equation. F is equal to MA. अगर हम पहला जो मास है उसके लिए लिखे तो F कितना होगा? M1 A1 होगा. अंडरस्टूड? उससे हम क्या निकाले? M1 निकाले F by A1. F का वैल्यू क्या है? 5 न्यूटन है. डिवाइडेड बाय A का वैल्यू 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर है. तो इट विल बी 0.5 kg. 0.5 kg. Similarly हम M2 निकाले. M2 will be what? F by A2. तो F का वैल्यू 5 न्यूटन हो गया. A का वैल्यू 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड हो गया. सो ये कितना होगा? 0.25 kg होगा. करके देखो 0.25 kg. तो हमें क्या मिल गया? दो मास M1 और M2 का वैल्यू मिल गया. अगर हम वो टाइप कर देंगे, the new mass will be what? M is equal to M1 plus M2. is not it? न्यू मास का वैल्यू M, अगर हम M से लिखे तो M is equal to क्या होगा? M is equal to M1 plus M2. That implies M का वैल्यू क्या हो गया? M1 का वैल्यू 0.5 kg है प्लस 0.25 kg है. तो इसका अगर टोटल करेंगे तो इसका वैल्यू हो जाएगा 0.75 किलोग्राम. तो 0.75 किलोग्राम हो गया नया जो ऑब्जेक्ट होगा. पहला दो ऑब्जेक्ट मिलाकर. The first two objects were tied together, so we are getting a new object, and the mass of the new object is how much? It is how much? 0.75 kilogram. 0.75 kilogram. And that the question is what? इस mass को ये force 5 Newton कितना acceleration देगा? So again we know that what? Again we know that हम क्या जानते हैं? कुछ नहीं जानते. F is equal to MA. अभी हम A से लिख रहे हैं. ये A क्या हो जाएगा? एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ द न्यू ऑब्जेक्ट. ओके, तो वो हमें चाहिए. क्वेश्चन इज वो न्यू ऑब्जेक्ट को ये फोर्स 5 न्यूटन कितना एक्सेलरेशन देगा? तो A कितना हो जाएगा? F by M. तो F का वैल्यू 5 न्यूटन है. M कितना है? 0.75 न्यू वाला kg. सो इसका वैल्यू कितना होगा? देखो 500 divided by 75 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. इसका अगर करेंगे 500 को 75 से कितना टाइम जाएगा? देखो थिंक 5 टाइम्स से 5 2 5 37 और एक जाएगा 6 टाइम्स 603 45 6 टाइम्स जाएगा या 6 टाइम्स 450 हो जाएगा. 6.6 आई थिंक 50 आएगा. 6.67 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. दिस विल बी द वैल्यू. या see this value might not be same. Okay, if you do then it may be something, I don't know, it should be correct. 33 45 करेक्ट है. 6.67 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. ये क्या हो जाएगा? ये जो नया ऑब्जेक्ट है, न्यू ऑब्जेक्ट, उसका क्या हो जाएगा? एक्सेलरेशन हो जाएगा. तो उस क्वेश्चन का आंसर हम कैसे देंगे? अगर वो दो M1 और M2 वाला ऑब्जेक्ट को हम टाइट कर देंगे एक साथ, तो उस ऑब्जेक्ट को ये फोर्स कितना एक्सेलरेट करेगा? 6.67 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर एक्सेलरेट करेगा. सो आई थिंक I will not make this video too much lengthy. So in this video we have discussed what is third law of motion and two numericals of second law of motion. So in the next video we will deal with what? We will deal with conservation of momentum. Okay, momentum, what it is, I have explained in the previous video. So how that momentum is conserved, we will explain in the next video. Okay, so till then, bye bye. So watch my video and share my video. Okay, bye bye.